Asked all the time, where does the term barn burner come from? I mean, I've never been asked that, but I'm sure a lot of people are thinking it. It went back to the 1800s, and a farmer named Zuckerman. He was a pig farmer, and he went out to feed his pigs, and he saw a spider web up in the corner, and it had a word written in it. And he's like, we can't have this. These spiders must be possessed by the spirit of my wife. His wife was still alive, which was weird. So anyway, he burned down his barn. Now, this story got retold by two different people. E.B. White, which became Charlotte's Web. Children's classic. The other one by Stan Lee. Peter Porker, mutated spiders. Spider-Ham, which became Spider-Man, which led to Marvel's comics, which led to Captain America, who beat the Nazis. So if it wasn't for Zuckerman burning down his barn, we wouldn't have won World War II. History. All right, and today we're talking with
Lacey.
Lacey, you got a little something right there.
Yeah.
Who do you got here?
This is Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
She's number 5.
Number 5? Good night. How old's Bonnie?
9.5 months.
All right. You guys just down here having a vacation?
My husband's down here with work, and we thought we would just swing by here and visit Nashville.
That's
I've never
right.
seen it, so.
Never been to Nashville?
Never been through this part, no.
Where are you from?
I'm from Athens, Georgia.
Okay, so that's a city, right?
Yes,
That's
is.
the urban.
Yes, University of Georgia, go Dogs.
Go Dogs, ding. Okay, let me ask you this. You're from a city. When I say farmer,
Yes.
what's your opinion? What comes to mind?
Very hardworking.
That's not true.
Very hard job. Very hard job. And something that sustains us. Like, we can't live without farmers.
Okay.
Yep.
When I say farmer, do you think good for the environment or not so good for the environment?
Absolutely good for the environment.
Okay, so where are you basing that opinion off of?
Well, I don't really think that they're bad for the environment because if we didn't have farmers, we wouldn't have an environment. I mean,
Yeah.
we have to be able to have food to eat, and that's where we get it from. I mean, we can't just go to a Walmart and expect to, that food has to come from somewhere. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just my, where I think about where it comes from. If they didn't exist, then we wouldn't.
So there are a lot of people in the city that when I say farmer, they think, corporate farm, greedy,
Right.
hill jacks, or they're poisoning the environment. I'm trying to, as a farmer, just trying to figure out how to communicate with people. I don't have anything in common
Right.
with the city people. You got any advice?
I think that once they go out and spend the day in a farmer's life, like see what goes on, and maybe like I'm from a very rural area, so we have a lot of farms out in Athens and in Georgia.
Yeah.
So I see it, I live it every day. I'm a teacher, so I teach farmers' kids. Like I know what kind of life they live, and I think if they could come spend a day in a farmer's shoes and see the kind of sacrifice they make for their families and the work that they put into it, and usually it's not just a farmer, it's the farmer and his whole entire family. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think if they could see that maybe they can understand a little bit about. I think a lot of it is just ignorance, I guess is what I'm saying. They just don't know what goes into it. And
What grade do you teach?
I teach middle school.
Middle school?
Yep.
Okay. So when you're buying food for your very large family,
Yes.
you're going through the grocery store, I mean, what are you looking for?
I spend most of my time in the produce section, to be honest. And we do a garden every year, and we try to grow a lot of stuff in the summer. And but I look for stuff that's non-GMO. I look for stuff that is not highly processed, as natural as I can get it.
Okay.
And we do a lot of shopping at there's a place out near us that does like a meat market. Like we try to get our stuff from local farmers, as local as possible.
So like when you got the opinion that you want to buy non-GMO,
Yes.
like do you know where you gathered that information, where you get that
I'm a
opinion?
health teacher.
Okay.
And I have to teach about that. That's what part of our curriculum is. So we watch a lot of those documentaries that oh gosh, I can't think of the names of them now, but lots of the Forks to Knives, the GMO movie. I can't remember. I think it's OMG GMO is a documentary that we watched. I think that's the name of it. But so we talk a lot about just the Monsanto, like all that stuff that happened with the Roundup.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's part of our curriculum that we teach, you know, about making good food choices and talking about what GMOs are and where they come from and how stuff is genetically modified.
Okay, you know, as a farmer, you know, I grow GMOs,
Yes.
and I do have a different opinion about the safety of them and that
Right.
I'm gathering. Well, then I know those
Right.
documentaries do.
Yes.
So how do I talk to people that have no experience with agriculture?
Make a documentary.
Is that what it is? Those darn YouTubers are ruling the world, aren't
yes,
they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess it's just education, like getting it out there.
Yeah.
And I know that takes money and that takes...
It is hard to compete with those documentaries
It is.
because
It
they're easy to watch.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they're usually very one-sided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's choosing that? Is it like the schools that choose to watch those?
It's a curriculum that's mandated through the state.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a standard.
All right. Well, we need to talk to your state.
I know.
Thanks for spending some time with us here on SharkFarmer TV. For more stories about people in agriculture, catch my shows on Rural Radio Channel 147 Sirius XM. There's more in-depth discussions on my podcast, and of course, you can check out previous episodes of this show on my YouTube channel. Find out more at sharkfarmer.com.